Hi everyone, welcome back to my Tyranny Let's Play. Last time I left it off having completed the Welcome to a Ruin quest. I now have to take a trip to the disfavored camp to complete the Conqueror's Will, which involves delivering Kairos' edict. Last time round I left it off mentioning I wanted to have a conversation with Verse, which I haven't really done yet. I think I'm going to hold off a tiny bit longer than that. The only real reason to do so is to gain a bit of reputation to get those per rest combo abilities of hers, but I probably don't need them until just before I enter combat next, which may be a little while because I have to deliver that edict. Apart from that, there's actually been a patch which came out for Tyranny since the last video, the last time I recorded, and because I was very early on in the game still, I decided to actually replay the character I had created and yeah, not to cause any issues potentially down the line with an updated patch. There wasn't much chance of that happening perhaps, but yeah, I didn't want to take any risks. So I replayed the start this level using an identical character. You can see him there, and I did all of the same dialogue options, all the same reputation, literally identical in every way, shape and form, apart from a couple of things which I should mention. First of all, I decided the hobble ability I took just wasn't working out. I just never used it, and although it basically would have gotten me to evasion a bit quicker, I didn't think it was worth it. So I've picked a different ability. With the secondary combat choice, I went for one-handed weapons. So I picked up Sunder from that, which basically gets rid of a bit of armor as in melee combat. So that would be much more useful. If we take a look in the talents, it's over in the power section. I do actually want to pick that up at some point, so that will allow me to get to that quicker. I wasn't able to pick up evasive when I leveled up, so instead I picked up poison dart, which I was going to pick up anyway because it's a really good ability, but evasive will probably be my next talents I pick up with this character. And also, there was a situation with loot is slightly a bit different. So if we take a look in my inventory, it's not quite the same as it was within the end of the last video. I didn't pick up any bracers, the good ones, sadly. So I'm probably a bit worse off actually. And yeah, I got slightly different weapons which aren't all that good. But yeah, pretty much identical. And for some reason I couldn't actually have... I picked up all the spells, of course, from the Cosmos over there. For some reason I couldn't talk to the Scarlet Chorus member who was over here, who I tried to strangle basically and got some extra athletic skill. I was still able to get up there though, because you get athletics when you go up there. So yeah, all of the loot, situational loot that's always there, I've still got as well. Like I picked up the torque, for example, and also the bangles. But yeah, it's literally identical character in every way, shape and form. Right, I am ready to get moving on again then. So let's pause and actually go to the local map and go to the disfavored camp. This will take us a few hours. Okay, so the quest updated just for getting here, and it looks like there is a potential confrontation going on here. So yeah, let's go and have a word, I think, here. Okay, hail Fatebinder, the disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's up on ahead, don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. Sterling Hagnon, I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another, am I not? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. So this guy's from Lethian's Crossing, which I think is one of the options you can go to in Conquest. When I replayed everything, I did Conquest all the same, identical as well. So there's a few options. This is none of my concern. I gain favour. Overlord regulates all trade. You're on disfavoured land. These warriors have every right to kill you. Should be more thankful for even listening to you speak. I'll do the regulate trades one, I think. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunon, but we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Right. Let's try that one. You're on disfavoured land. These warriors have every right to kill you. You should be more thankful where they're even listening to you. But I'm only here to peddle my wares. I mean no harm. The merchant takes a step back, his eyes scanning the soldiers for signs of movement. And if you think of a threat to the disfavoured camp, then you have seriously overestimated me. Please, how do I make this right? From the sound of it, I feel like I'm about to be robbed. You're not the only one. I'm being robbed of patience as we speak. We should move on, Fatebinder. Petty disputes are beneath both of us. Robbed? No, you fool. You're being granted life after trespassing on our lands, all for the simple price of what's in your cart. Not our fault you don't have your permits in order. I didn't write the rules, I just ruthlessly enforced them. Please, merchant lurches towards you, eyes wide with desperation. Can you do something? You had best start making a very strong argument as to why I should help you. Lose my favour with disfavoured. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel and... The warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavoured matter, but I know the agents of the courts do so love to throw their judgments around. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. It's actually an option for Lawbreaker, which probably won't come out too often. You have a lot of perishable goods, but no hauling crew. You're just a battlefield looter. Gain average favour with disfavoured. These are essential goods, subterfuge, cuirass. I was just hearing about a supply caravan of reagents going missing. There's also a lore option. What a coincidence, your family recipe for wound paste smells just like Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where'd you steal this? And is that one? Well, I think I'm interested in getting extra lore at this point still, so yeah, let's go for that. I don't. The merchant tenses up, his face flushing red. I don't know what you're getting at. I'm going to go for athletics. Slow down, I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt me. I found most everything out in the forests of the valley. I'd keep my head low when I heard sounds of combat. Then I'd take a look and grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So, then you stole from the disfavoured dead. How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points to the merchant's cart. You would come here and sell us our own armaments. If anything has an owner, I will return it, but this iron would have turned to rust if I left it in the mud of the battlefield. The disfavored are few in number. Is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies that would otherwise go to waste. So there's various options here. I think I'm gonna do what's maybe best for the war effort. So I'm gonna do, instead of just killing him outright, disfavored will tolerate your presence, but you will pay them handsomely for such charity. We will. The disfavored soldier clears her throat with a cough before repeating herself in a more upbeat manner. We will. It sickens me to make exceptions for this vulture, but if you'll supply the disfavored without profit, perhaps this indiscretion is for the best. It's not like our larders are overflowing. A work slave to scrounge provisions would be an asset. Thank you for interceding on my behalf. I know my life will now depend on showing the disfavored due gratitude for suffering my presence. If I must grovel a bit to earn my daily grain, so be it. Okay, and basically that should leave him alive to do some trading with as well, should I wish. So what's that there? It's actually
right.
Crates.
They won't see me coming.
Go into stealth mode as well. Can maybe have a look to see if there's anything around here. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I do need to ask you something first as first. What's that? The voices of Narat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So, let's have it out. What's so special about you? Okay, so there's a few options here to give extra skill, at least a couple. Why so suspicious? Hopefully they'll still be there. It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the ear gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So, why invite a mediator from Tunon's court? It doesn't add up. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Chorus since the early days of the Conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the voices of Narat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. I think I slightly prefer the fear talent, so I'm gonna do that in this option here. They both gain average. Quick to anger, are we? I'm not disagreeing with you, but I would take care where you speak your mind. Someone is always eager to report slander to their favorite Archon. With all the power they wield, those types are not quick to forgive. What else has the voices of Narat told you? Only that I could find you in Edgarin ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd, but you're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. I'm going to go for the subterfuge option. Did the voices in Narat ask you to spy on me? Verse at a loss for words. Verse regard you with momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business, so is snatching up any advantage over Graven Ash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voices is just curious why you're here. If he wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. I'm gonna pick up the law in this case. I mean, I could do some extra reputation bonuses on the others, but yeah, I want the law. Is that all? I can understand why Tunon would worry himself over resources, but we have the riches of the Northern Empire back in this conquest, so I lied about my business, not need it. Not to mention the plunder of the tiers. If you say that's the case, I'll go along with it. First frowns to herself, but doesn't press the matter. Enough of this. I must meet with the Archons. Hey, don't let me hold you back. I'm sure whatever you're here to do is important enough that you don't need me stepping in your path. The war tent is just past the center of the camp. One last thing, be careful around these disfavored types. They take their worth seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. Okay, so if we take a look on the reputation, yeah, we're getting towards that now, definitely. Let's open that.
That wasn't so hard.
I don't think that guy minds. Hopefully he doesn't, because I'm going to take all of this. Looks like I can sell all of that as well. Okay. And let's have a word with him as well while we're here. Still in Hagnon, thank you for talking down the disfavored from doing worse. Sad times we live in when making a humble living is branded a crime. So, saving your hide was worth... Oh, well, naturally. Hagnon clears his throat, his face showing a flash of a scowl. One good deed deserves another. Well, when I have my shop up and running, I'll sell you provisions for a son and give you a proper bounty on any odd bits of weaponry you find, provided that, he jabs a finger at you, you keep standing up for me should those iron goons try to rough me up a second time. You were lucky with us before, merchant. Take care that you don't challenge your luck again. So is this shop up and running yet? Yes, it is. And what's he have? He has a scroll. As you can see, that is very expensive though. That is 9 bronze and I have 3 copper, so I'm nearly 900 copper away from that actually. And yeah, I don't think there's some stuff I could sell, but I can do that later probably. Okay, so probably time to have a look around this camp then.
You didn't see nothing.
Right, you get an increased chance of finding hidden things when you're crouching. And before I present myself to these guys, I think I'm going to have a look around the outskirts of the camp.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix. We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
Okay, so looks like there's a bit of backstory there. That hasn't highlighted up though, so she doesn't have anything more to say about it. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything hidden up here.
Can't do that.
Thought there was actually, but yeah, gonna come back down. There is some loot within the camp though, I'm definitely gonna pick up. Want to pick up. Okay, didn't find anything hidden, so let's try and enter the camp by talking to these guys. Well, look at you, our gatecrasher from the court is still in one piece. He's mentioning conquest decisions I made. The guard pounds his chest plate in salute. Welcome to this favoured camp. Always happy to have an honoured ally pay us a visit. Salute. Graven Ash protects this favoured minor favour. That he does, the warrior nods in approval, then taps twice on the gate to signal your arrival. Be well, Fatebinder. Glory to Kairos! So he obviously recognised me. Addendum added on Conqueror's Will. The 2 Archons are currently meeting inside Graven Ash's tent at the north end of the camp. Okay, this favoured insignia has been violently disfaced. Can he say anything more? Oh, that was verse actually.
Just point me in the right
Nods.
direction.
Right, who's that? Stay vigilant, Faintbinder.
Yes.
These arrows were fletched with precision and care. There's some guy called Barrack here. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. It's a Horde member who happens to be within the camp there. Looks like it's another trader. This cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. And there's actually stone shield armor there. I'm not sure if there's a stealing mechanic within this game or not, but yeah, I'm just gonna borrow that. This table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Let's have a word then with Pentabor before we go and visit the tent up there. Hail to you, guardian of the Lord. A man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rins weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. So there's an option for Lawbreaker, and in fact there's an option for all of the histories, or nearly all of them I think. Let's go with that then. He hesitates and then corrects with a welcoming smile. Of course, by all means, I have nothing to hide. He makes a show of removing a crate's lid and showing off his wares with an open palm. His supplies are all perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile license. I think in this case, even though there's a subterfuge option for a bit more skill, I think this one might be a bit more worthwhile based on prior experience. So, lies. Smells like peddle grass in here. Have you been selling something you shouldn't? His eyes go wide. Peddle grass? But this is absurd. I never touched the stuff. He cuts off his speech and frowns. Oh, I recognize this for what it is. Though I admit I assumed things are more orderly in the military. He sighs. You won't find any contraband here. Of that I can assure you. And I've been travelling in the company of the vaunted Iron Legion for enough of this conflict that my honesty can be vouchsafed and defended. There's a law option and a subterfuge option, or I could just outright challenge him. It can take quite a while to schedule a trial. Pity if you had to wait out the rest of this one to sell. What I could do, fair enough. I'm going to... yeah, I do the lore option. Let's pick some more up. It's definitely going to be useful. Party has gained 481 rins and extra lore. Yes, a pity indeed. Frowning, he counts out a generous sum of rins and passes them to you without hesitation. There you go. Cost of doing business. How did you come to work with the disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hand on hips. In Kyros's wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kyros. Let me see your wares. Pentabor rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. I can spend his money buying something off him. There is a scroll sigil of frost. And all of a sudden I got quite a bit of rinse, haven't I? I'm going to buy that straight away. I don't see a reason not to, really. But no doubt we'll come back here to see if it's something worth buying. I'm not sure there is, actually. Let's trade for that then. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with that armor as well. I'll probably stick it on my main guy, actually. So this is basic light level armor and I want heavy. Problem is it's going to increase my... I say that, look at my recovery time there though, 4.2. This is actually less, which is fantastic. So yeah, brilliant. This scroll, let's actually learn that as well. So that now opens up frost spells, which I can basically add to both of these guys or one of these guys or none of these guys, depending on what I want to do. Definitely be adding it to Govanon. I'll do that a bit later on now, I think. Let's talk to Rona. Got no time to chitter, too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentapore if you've got rings to spend. Okay, so the camp, which is what I'm supposed to be doing, and paying a visit is up here, but I think we'll have a little look around the camp. We know there's loot in various locations, so I might as well pick that up and have a word with people. The Sparran dummy shows the deep gouges of hard use. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. Let's see what's there. There is a leather buckler with an extra amount into dodge. That would be great actually for the Fate Binder, especially since once I do pick up evasion, which if we look at the skill level won't be too long away from getting, if I want to get it now, which I probably do. Yeah, I can use that for parrying as well then.
Will do.
Okay, so what's down here? There is a couple of guys, so I can't actually talk to, it would seem. I don't think there's anything
Can't
down
do that. Can't
there.
do
I can't
that.
even go over there. Right.
Sorry, can't.
Let's talk to what looks like a smith, Isotanis. Isotanis curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. Now we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't a problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp where Garb in the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call its favoured the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. Why not forge your own iron? Hopefully that will remain. Only the forge-bound smiths can make the stuff. They know the secret of iron. All I can do is mend and maintain their craft. It takes a master, nay an artist, to make a piece of iron fit for an indomitable soldier such as the disfavored. You mentioned an iron shortage. I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down a Matani went missing near Echocal Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed off. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotanis flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian guards. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. I might as well accept that quest, I think. So if I find myself an Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the Great General, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. So at this stage, yeah, I'm still trying to get favor, I think. So you can trust me to handle this. Gain average favor. You have gained favor with disfavored. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to the crate behind him and points to a small set of notches in the wood. You see that? This is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous, so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. So if we check out the journal, we should have a new quest. And it's not actually a main quest, but yeah, definitely, almost likely, definitely.
That wasn't so hard.
Worthwhile doing at some point. There's a cloth tunic, which is light armor, which I'm not sure what I can do with that. Currently, I might have to do something with it, or just flog it to someone later on. Okay, fresh straw in his prison. Oathbreakers already had their own chance. Who's that guy? Don't mind me, I'm just watching the troops. A pungent odor emanates from the sack slung over the soldier's back. Okay. A meager portion of game simmers in a large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever the creature they decided to cook. And there's actually a hidden object up there, which I found despite the fact I wasn't in stealth mode. The Archons await you inside, Fatebinder. Let's auto pause
Curious.
as well. Looks like I had that on. Options. There's a bloodstone for money, and there's a couple of consumables that I might want to use or sell, who knows. Before I go in there, let's pick up this loot though. See if there's anyone else worth talking to. Bit of quip on the Horde member. Can't wait to get out of this camp.
That wasn't so hard.
There's actually a scroll there. Garnet and some cheese. Let's use that scroll now. Sigil of Strength, which is that one there. Let's have a word with a bitter quip then. Glory to the voices of Narat, projecting his salutation for all to hear. The grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Govanon, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title, won. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitter Quip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored, that will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitquip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Narat. He is a supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitter Quip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narat is the epitome of what each of us can be, a magician without equal and a leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The Doctrine of Strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly, and like most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily establish my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is the role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Narat. Bitter Quip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. Bitterquip nods as you depart. Okay. Carefully, skin game hands from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Keep an eye on the Scarlet Chorus over there, just making the rounds. Pungent odor. There's something
Got it.
there to appropriate. Might be worthwhile using. I don't know. I have to check it out later. Stay vigilant, Fate Binder. There's something else.
Sorry, can't.
Well, let's go and grab that. Fruit and fish. Right, have I missed anything? I think there's some loot there. I haven't been over there, and that's pretty much it. And
Sorry, can't.
yeah, then we can go and have a word with the Archons, presumably. Okay, so what is that? That's more water and resolve, consumable and vitality for the grain. From your vantage point, you see tents trail off, obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers you see appear somber and quiet, calm before the storm. And there's Lucia and Marcus to talk to here. I am Lucia, this is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her, and you must be the Fate Binder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? So these guys actually provide training, so that could be useful. Let's have a look at it. So of course, Fatebinder. Marcus pounds his fist on his armor in salute. So when you want training, you can train something at 5 times per level, I believe. And you can see the costs here. It's quite expensive at this stage in the game, but it may well be worthwhile doing perhaps. But I will want to find someone who can train up the skill that I particularly want to be trained if I'm going to do that. Let's continue our conversation. Well, if it isn't the Fatebinder, what can we do for you? There's a few options for previous history that I can't select in this circumstance. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the gates of judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle, Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can weigh me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be my family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Insufficient reputation. So I'm not favoured enough with the disfavoured to do this yet. I know a thing or two about splitting those who are stupid enough to challenge me. What of it? Easy, Lucia. We don't punish curiosity here. No need to fly off the handle on the basis of a simple reflection. They train us well, Fatebinder. The Archon makes sure that our potential is realized before we reach battle. So most of us keep a cool head when we see any action. He looks at Lucia with a frown. Most of us, I said. Hopefully I'll be able to do that in the future. Is it still an option here? Yes, it is. Okay, I can come back there. So, how have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? And once again, we lack reputation. Wait, is this all a ruse? Did Tunon send you here to test the army's training and grit? Because I won't stand for it. Will you calm the fuck down, you tangled fishnet of nerves? This is after how many head wounds you took last week? Stop looking for enemies behind every shadow. I guarantee you'll be disappointed. What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Taratus. And like the chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? Reputation isn't quite there again. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the great general's history to outsiders. But you'll say that involves the great general, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat. At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. She has training as well available. Thrown weapons, dodge, athletics. That sounds like the girl I might want to visit for some of my companions. For certain of my companions. And I think that's it for these guys for the time being, until I can increase my reputation a bit further.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now.